Recall that most of the energy in the chemical bonds of the foods that you eat is released and captured to make ATP during aerobic cellular respiration. The energy in energy output is primarily lost in the form of heat. About 60% of the energy in the chemical bonds of the foods that you consume will be lost as heat. The remaining energy will be used to do work, cellular work, or stored as glycogen or fat. When homeostasis is maintained, you have a neutral energy balance. However, if the energy intake becomes greater than energy output, you have a positive energy balance, and the opposite is true. If the amount of energy intake becomes lower than energy output, you have a negative energy balance. During a positive energy balance, weight can be increased, and during a negative energy balance, you can have a loss in weight. Remember, energy input or intake is the energy that's released during food oxidation. And food oxidation occurs primarily during aerobic cellular respiration. The chemical bonds in the foods that you consume have energy in them. When those bonds are broken, energy is released. Although about 60% of the energy released during aerobic cellular respiration is released in the form of heat, the remaining energy can be used to synthesize ATP. In those chemical bonds are electrons that are at a high energy level. The electron transport chain allows those electrons to release small amounts of energy during each step of the electron transport chain. That energy then is used during chemiosmosis to synthesize ATP. So then what is the main fuel used to make ATP? Glucose. You can convert your proteins and your fats, remember, into glucose or keto acids. ATP is the central link between energy producing and energy utilizing systems of the body. During energy production, you can have the oxidation of proteins, carbohydrates, and fats to synthesize ATP. ATP is then utilized for cellular work, such as active transport, muscle contraction, synthesis of different molecules such as proteins, cell division, and growth. When ATP goes to the cell, the terminal phosphate group is broken off of ATP, converting it into ADP plus phosphate. This is how the energy in ATP is released for energy work. So ATP is simply a molecule that transfers energy in its high energy bonds between the phosphate groups to cells for that energy to be used in cellular work.